Hello and welcome to the Success with Savita podcast, where we share hot tips on how to do life and business without losing your mind. I'm your host, Savita Nanjappa, entrepreneur, high-achieving 9-to-5er turned transformational success coach, helping you create a wildly successful business. Come hang out with me and other fabulous humans like you every week for stories and chats packed with a healthy dose of tips, resources, how-tos, and real talk. Side effects may include a happier and more confident you with each passing day.
So you've thought of a great idea and now you're ready to implement it. But as you're thinking about implementation, execution, this amazing idea, and thinking about how people are going to respond to it, you also have this inner voice which is telling you, hey, you could be wrong. Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you need to do a little bit more analysis, research, talk to some more people, get more ideas, get prepared, get a certification. You don't have the skill sets, doubts, maybe you'll fail. All of this is now going through your mind. And what happens is, it's a month later now, and you haven't taken action. This is called overthinking. Hi, and welcome to the Success with Savita podcast. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how overthinking is actually killing your dreams. As Tony Robbins says, whatever you hold in your mind on a consistent basis is exactly what you will experience in your life. This is something that the world's most successful people realize, and the only difference between them and everyone else is that they are able to harness the power of thoughts to help them achieve. They've learned how to stop overthinking and start taking action. The good news, of course, is that overthinking is a habit, it's a pattern, and like all patterns, good and bad, they are developed over time based on life experiences, and just as patterns are learned, they can also be unlearned. Now you may think, am I an overthinker? I'm not so sure. So how do you identify if you're an overthinker? Here are some ways to identify if you're an overthinker. Number one, you worry about the future. You're always thinking about things that could go wrong, things that haven't even happened yet, and you're unable to enjoy the present because you're forward-looking and worrying about everything that can go wrong for you versus what can go right. Two, you're looking back into your past and you beat yourself up about should haves and could haves, and you're unable to let go of past happenings, failures, mistakes, and move on. Three, you're stressed out about what others think about you. You are way more worried about what people think about you. You replay every interaction and social situation in your mind, and it could be social anxiety that's causing you to overthink. Number four, you let negativity build up in your mind. Over a period of time, the negative thinking patterns and the negative self-talk takes over, and it's your go-to. Every time you're about to do something, there's like, oh, it's not me. Oh, it's not going to work for me. Something's going to go wrong. And this is now built up. That's the only way you think. You have analysis paralysis, as we call it, which is you're replaying all the options in your head and you're so afraid to take action that you keep, spending more time on analysis and talking to more people to see what else could go wrong. You feel depressed or stressed. Because of the overthinking, over a period of time, it increases your symptoms of depression and elevates your stress levels. So if you identify one of these, and again, it's not that you don't think of this once in a way, if you identify that these are some things that you consistently do, and which in turn means that you end up not taking action on most of your ideas till someone else beats you to it, then you're definitely an overthinker. I'm going to share with you some tips that can help you get started in letting go of this thinking pattern, and I hope this helps. Number one, awareness is key. So understanding number one, that this is how you think, is important. Now that you know that you're an overthinker, you've got to be able to put in all your effort, intention to stop these thought patterns. So how do you stop? It's time to face your fears so that you can overcome them. And some of the ways to do that is by beginning to identify your destructive thought patterns. Now that you know that you have these negative and destructive thought patterns, you have got to just tell yourself to stop. Just stop. Step one is really identifying your destructive thought patterns and observing how often they come up, when do they come up, and how it's actually not working for you. Step two is to also go back into your past, and overthinkers often focus on the past, right? Your past mistakes, past failures, what went wrong, someone did something to you. You've got to now forgive yourself, forgive some of those people, and just let it go. Know that got to fail forward, take the lessons, and keep moving forward. And you also not just forgive yourself and forgive others, but you've also got to let go of your anger, and this can significantly change your story. Letting go of anger means that you're just moving forward and you don't have any more energy or mind space to be thinking about the past or about things that have happened or about being angry about situation. My third tip for you is to live in the moment. Being mindful, being present. Every time you either start worrying about the future or you're worrying about the past, take a moment and say, full stop, bring yourself back to the present moment. And this is really important, and it's a practice. It's a practice that you've got to do. Things like breathing, focusing on the moment helps. Asking yourself, like, what are you just grateful for? So the gratitude practice helps. Daily rituals like meditation can help you retrain your brain and stay mindful, stay present till a point where it comes very natural to you. Tip number 4 is to really take charge of your emotions, how you respond, how you react. And you got to dig deeper and find out the reasons, the patterns that make you go into fear, that make you feel like, something can go wrong, so I've got to, not do this or not move forward with this. Really identify these patterns and identify where the trigger points are. So take charge of your emotions, and taking charge of your emotions means knowing why you respond the way you respond. And when you respond in a way that you don't want to, that you're not meant to be responding in that way, what can you do to step back, take a moment, and to reshift and reset the way you're responding and reacting? Tip number 5 is to know the difference between 5, maybe 6. To know the difference between fear and intuition. Overthinkers often have trouble distinguishing between fear of making a mistake versus intuition, which is guiding, which is led by your gut. When you lead from your place of confidence, when you lead from a place of clarity, when you have been decisive, you're far more likely to allow intuition to lead you versus just being in the fear thought pattern. So really identify, when are you thinking from a place of fear, or when is it that it's your gut speaking, your intuition telling you something? And this takes time. And you'll have to do all the steps that I spoke about, all the things that I spoke about earlier, before you can understand and read your own emotions and say, hey, this is just fear, or hey, this is my intuition telling me that I shouldn't be doing this, right? The next step is to focus on asking the better question. Now, what if something goes wrong? Okay? The better question is, how do I ensure that something doesn't go wrong? What are some steps? What are some safeguards that I can build for myself? Again, there has to be some balance. Sometimes we build safeguards which are so safeguarding that you just don't get into action at all. So ask better questions. How can I make sure that this doesn't happen again? How can I make sure that I'm better prepared next time? Asking yourself the right question at the right time is important, especially when you're in fear-based thinking, when you're spiraling into fear-based thinking. My next tip for you is to create a plan. Set achievable goals first, of course, and then to create a plan. Now that you have both and you're clear about both, you can just focus on taking action step by step. What's your step 1? You don't need to think about step 10, which is harder. You've got to think about just the next step and allow that to help you build your momentum. Consistent action will help you build momentum, right? Because as you take action, there's something else happening, then it grows and it builds. So set achievable goals, break it down into bite-sized pieces, and follow the plan, start taking action. And this is really my next step, which is to start taking action. Every time you go into overthinking, stop, bring yourself to the present, take action. One tiny, small action. And sometimes we don't take action, which is as simple as maybe not sending out that email. Okay, what do you need to do to send out that email? Start crafting your message offline. Start thinking the points, key salient points that you want to mention in that email, and then kind of draft it together. But start taking action. The only way to stop overthinking is to take action. Of course, it's not as simple as that. There are all these other things that you've got to do to be able to take that action. But to take that first baby step. Surround yourself. My next step is to surround yourself with positive people. Seek out individuals who are supportive, encouraging, and help you stay focused on your goals. Like-minded people who are all, it's the vortex. When you're surrounded by people who are all in it to win it, there's a ripple effect. And it's going to impact you. And it will then push you also to start moving forward on your dreams, on your goals, on your action steps. Limit and eliminate distractions is my next tip. Know what your triggers are, know what your distractions are, limit if you can't fully eliminate. And finally, my last tip for you is you may do all of this, but you still find that you're falling back into your patterns and you want outside help and support. Go ahead and get that help and support. Get a therapist, get a counselor, get a coach even, but seek help when you know you're not able to do this all by yourself. Okay, even if it's a few sessions, it's going to be helpful for you. Anything you can do to invest in moving yourself forward is going to be helpful for you. With that, I hope all these tips have been helpful for you, and I hope you're going to be able to stop overthinking and move forward on taking action on your dreams and desires. Thank you, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you like this episode and you want more, you can go to the show notes on my website, which is successwithsavita.com/podcast. If you like what you've heard so far, I would be grateful to you if you could leave me a 5-star review, subscribe to this podcast, and share with a friend who may find this useful. You can also follow me on my Instagram @successwithsavita and DM me any questions you may have, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Until the next episode, believe in yourself and all the best to your success.